Hey y'all, it's Brody, and today we're here to do the aesthetically pleasing book tag. Don't know who the original creator was. I believe that the video is gone now. If I can find it, I'll link it down below, but also just check the downstairs description links for some of my favorite iterations of this tag. So, we're not going to be talking about synopses, we're not going to be talking about what the books are about. We're just going to talk about the covers, the chapter headers, the aesthetics of the book. So we're getting materialistic. We're just going to hop on in. Question number 1 is best color combo on a book. Now, I love me a pretty, flashy pastel or dark and gritty. It depends on the vibe of the book. But my favorite, the one I'm drawn to the most, is a white cover with like a pop of color. So I have a couple of examples. I will be talking about more than one for each of these categories. So, like Sadie by Courtney Summers, how it's black and white and gray and then it has a pop of red. Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Callender, black, white, gray, and then like pops of brown and pink. Work in Progress by Connor Franta, white and then blue and pink. La Rose by Louise Erdrich, which has like just it's the smallest amounts of red. And then The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta, which has all the colors. I think there's something, like obviously color combos are a big thing, but I think there's something about seeing like a blank canvas and then like boom, just a splash of something that really draws my eye to it, and it makes it stand out a little bit more. Next is favorite typography or font on a cover. I have 3. I have The House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig, which you can see has this really ornate, gorgeous, like almost like burnished font. You can see where it's starting to like oxidize from the water because themes. But if you look really close through here, you can also see like octopus tentacles around the script, which is really cool because the octopus is the family's coat of arms in this. The chalky weathered look of the font on 5 Midnights by Andavia Cardinal, I think it fits really well with what the story is about. And then The Serpent King by Jeff Setner is what made me fall in love with typography on book covers, because if you look, it's little snake scales. How cool is that? Okay, next is best simple cover, and this is hard. Okay, once again, I have a couple for this. I have Exit Pursued by a Bear by E.K. Johnston. Very simple photograph of a girl being like thrown into the sky because she's a cheerleader, but I love the colors and the gradient on it. I also love the cover for 172 Hours on the Moon. It's super spooky. It took me forever to realize that was an eye, and now that I've seen the eye, I can't unsee it. I love The Cheerleaders by Kara Thomas. Very simple, very effective, very representative of the story. And then one that looks simple, but if you really look at it, it's not, is Blades of Black by L.L. McKinney. Like, yes, it's a girl on a white background with like the spade symbol, but if you look at it right here in the splashes, you can see that the background right here with the roses actually continues into the splashes, and I think that's a really, really neat detail that I didn't notice until very recently. Next is best end pages, and I don't have a lot of these. I have a lot of end pages that are pretty colors, but as far as like best, most interesting end pages, I have this Barnes & Noble exclusive edition of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I really love the vibes in those end pages. Obviously, everyone talks about the end pages of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the standard UK edition. The end pages are gorgeous. One I don't see mentioned nearly enough is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. If you look right here, let me take the cover off. If you look right here, it looks like clocks. But if you look, every clock represents a different time because it's counting down until they're dead. And then here on the bottom, they have little skulls. Something else I want to talk about with this book, just very, very, very briefly, is I think this is one of the most intricate book covers of all time. A lot of people have noticed, like, yes, right here, you can see death and their shadow. But if you look at the sky, you can see a skull. And I just think that's a really interesting little tidbit. Best map. Most of the time, maps are in fantasy books, right? And I don't read a lot of fantasy books. But I have the map in Circe by Madeline Miller, which I think is really neat. Six of Crows. And then 2 on my TBR that I haven't read yet. The Brilliant Death has a map with end pages. You can't see my face. And I think the prettiest map is this one of the French Quarter in The Beautiful by Renee Adier. Okay, next is Best naked hardback. This is something that I used to appreciate a lot more than I do now. Now I barely even check. I absolutely love the naked hardback for A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I almost wish this book didn't have a dust jacket, because look how fucking gorgeous. I know we've all seen this at this point. This is one of the prettiest naked books I've ever seen. One that's on my TBR, The Epic Crush of Jeannie Lo. I also love the typography on this, because look at all of the different things going on with it. But the cover underneath is very simple. It just has the title in a different kind of texture. I think it's really interesting to look at, and it reminds me of like an anime opening. We have a less flashy one. We have Shadow Shaper by Daniel Jose Older, and I don't know if this is going to show up on camera. You can see that the city skyline is embossed on there, or not embossed, I don't know what the word is for that. You can see it's on there with the title. Very Exquisite Thing by Matthew Quick. This is a book about a girl who reads a book, and then the hardcover underneath is the book that's in the book. So you have Every Exquisite Thing, which is this book, and then the Bubblegum Reaper is what the book is about. So I thought that was really interesting how they just added that nice little touch there. Oh, I dropped it. Then a very pretty one is A Sleigh by Brittany Morris. This naked is just, look at that, y'all. I'm very confident in saying that Sleigh is one of the best books that came out in 2019 in all areas. The cover's gorgeous. It has this like nice foil details. You have the pink foil on the naked hardback. The book is incredible. And I just think all around this was like the book of 2019 as far as just like all the way around. Okay, best back cover. I need a second for this one. Sorry, this background just keeps getting progressively messier and messier. Okay, so one that I think is worth mentioning is Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. You have this beautiful illustrated cover. But then on the back, you also have a very pretty illustration of the protagonist and the love interest. Gorgeous. And then other ones I've already talked about, but also have gorgeous backs. We have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. It's really pretty. We know this. We have A Blade So Black by L.L. McKinney. I love the rose detailing on there. I love the back of Girls of Paper and Fire. I think it's fucking gorgeous, and it fits because it has paper and fire on it. I feel like the back cover of 172 Hours on the Moon is very effective. It is the opportunity of a lifetime if they make it back alive. I think it's gorgeous, and it's done in that stereotypical like space movie style. Chapter header. I need to look. Can you tell I'm very prepared? 3 books I found that I do like the chapter headers. You have The Light at the Bottom of the World by London Shaw. Oh, where is the chapters? It's bubbles! How cute is that? It's just little bubbles. And the other 2 I have are arcs. So, Cattywampus by Ash von Otterloo, which is very nice, by the way. It's a good book. I read it. I gotta thank you to Ash for sending it to me. It comes out August 4th, 2020, so make sure you go check it out. It's a middle grade about 2 witches, and it's really cute and queer, and it's wholesome stuff. I have a review video that's coming out later on it. But the chapter headers are little stars. Little stars because it's magic. Little leaves because it's a different kind of magic. It's so cute, and I love just like the teeny little details like that. And then the other one is A Lot Sway by Darcy Little Badger. Let me find like chapter 1. So I don't know if this would count as illustrations or chapter headers. I'm counting it as both. Because each chapter has an illustration at the beginning. And I believe this was illustrated by Rowena Kai. You see the really pretty illustrations. This one comes out August 25th, 2020, by the way. The books I have with illustrations. Do I have books with illustrations? I feel like I don't. Next is favorite illustrations, and I am also including graphic novels in this because it counts. For middle grade, I have this book called Fable Haven by Brandy. This is my OG copy. It's falling apart. But it has illustrations throughout. It's a 5-book series, and I believe all of them are illustrated. Then, as I said, A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. The illustrations in here are very creepy. Let me find a good one. And it's not every page, but it's basically every page has like some kind of artwork on it. See, really creepy. Then you have Aphrodite Made Me Do It by Tristan Mateer, which is a poetry collection that has a bunch of mixed media, but then you also have like illustrations and art, but then you have, there's some art, then you also have like mixed media. So I really appreciate all of the work that goes into that. And then for graphic novels, I have Taproot by Kizzy Young, which has a gorgeous like blue and green and cream and brown color palette. It's really nice. Really pretty art, really pretty colors. Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. I have talked about this book until I'm blue in the face, but the colors in this, the art is gorgeous. Trying to pick pages that don't have spoilers. Best spine. Ooh. I'm just pulling more and more books off of my shelf as this goes. Okay, favorite spine. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I've beat that into the ground already. I really like the spine for Forest of a Thousand Lanterns by Julie C. Dow. I love the spine for Foul is Fair. I think it's very powerful and packs a punch. More snaky shit with Queen of the Conquered by Kaysen Callender. And then The Light at the Bottom of the World by London Shaw. And then finally, your favorite cover on your shelves of all time, I guess. I don't really know. I have 5 to show you. My top 5 favorite covers. First one I've already mentioned is The Serpent King by Jeff Zentner. My favorite color, actually, my 2 favorite colors are brown and yellow. So, this works out well as having like a pretty typography, a nice spine. I feel like this one is just all the way around a very gorgeous looking book. Like I said, I have Slay by Brittany Morris, which I believe everyone, if you're publishing a book, if you're formatting like a physical book, follow suit with this. It's all the way around gorgeous, and like I said, I love the little gold like foil accents. A book that I think has a very simple but effective cover is There by Tommy Orange. I love how it's just 3 colors, but it still really grabs your attention. Clearly, we have Wilder Girls by Rory Power, which like I don't know how I've made it this far in the video without talking about it, but I think this is some of the most gorgeous art I've ever seen, period. It's really pretty on the inside. It's got a pretty copper color. It's green and copper. How can you not? And then another one is Revolution of Brody Randolph by Brandy Colbert. Like I said, yellow is one of my favorite colors. I wore my denim jacket today just so I could match this for the end of this video. The little flower accents that are on her jacket. The spine is really nice. I love the black boxes around the letters. I love the style of art, this very simplistic yet effective art. And I think this is one of the prettiest book covers I have ever seen in my life. Alright, that's all I have for you today. We went through a lot of books. I'm surrounded by books. My shelf is a mess. I don't want to fix this right now, so I'm probably just going to lay in this pile of books for a couple hours until I get motivated. Comment question of the day. If your personality could be summed up with one book cover, what would it be and why? For me, like I said, I think my personality would be very like Brody Randolph, where it's soft and kind of low-key vibes, you know. You have like the soft yellow, kind of aesthetic yellow with my yellow hearts. You have the denim jacket, which is like my signature thing, my signature piece. This sounds stupid. Let me know what yours is. And if you don't have time, or you just don't have the spoons, can't think of an answer right now, leave me an emoji, preferably a yellow heart, so I know you made it all the way until the end, because yellow hearts are my favorite. And now we pose for the cover. I need to get up a little bit. Oh, I'm stepping on books already. Let me move.